With the supplementary poll in Anambra state governorship election holding today in Ihiala local government area, attention has shifted to the council area, just as interests have heightened among the various stakeholders. The Independent National Electoral Commission (Inec) has, in line with extant rules and regulations, announced a slight adjustment to the commencement and closing time for the supplementary election. Inec said polling would now commence at 10 a.m. and end at 4 p.m. The Commission had on Sunday declared the November 6 off-time governorship election in Anambra State inconclusive owing to the suspension of voting in Ihiala local government area on the account of alleged irregularities. But the All Progressive Congress APC accused the candidate of the Progressive Grand Alliance ABGA, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, and fellow party men and incumbent governor of the state, Willie Obiano, of rigging the election. However, the state government appealed to the people of Ihiala to come out en masse today to cast their votes, assuring them of adequate security. Meanwhile, Clean Foundation said there were need for INEC to improve on logistics and operational challenges associated with the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAs) to deliver more transparent and credible elections. Ahead of today's voting, prominent sons and daughters of Ihiala had mobilized indigenes of the area at home and in diaspora to vote in today's supplementary election. Last Saturday's governorship election was declared inconclusive after the exercise was cancelled in Ihiala, though Soludo has crossed the threshold requirement for victory after winning 18 out of the 21 local government areas in the state. Despite the fact that Soludo was in apparent victory, the situation in Ihiala necessitated a supplementary poll to avoid disenfranchising the area's huge voting population of over 148,000. Announcing the adjustment to the voting timeline for Ihiala, INEC said in a statement by its National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, we urge political parties, voters, election duty officials, election observers, the media, and the general public to note that this slight modification would also appeal to citizens to conduct themselves in an orderly manner to ensure that the election is brought to a peaceful conclusion. However, chairman of APC in the state, Basil Ejidike, accused Soludo and Obiano of rigging while rejecting the results so far declared by INEC. It vowed to contest the results to the Supreme Court if INEC went ahead to declare Soludo winner of the election. Ejidike said APC would never accept the election's outcome. He called for cancellation of the election. He stated, "We want the whole world to hear our voice that we will never accept the outcome of Anambra gubernatorial election. The candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, and the sitting governor, Willie Obiano, manipulated the whole electoral system and will resist it. We virtually won in all the local government, but Willie Obiano and Charles Soludo, through instrumentality, corrupt-minded INEC officials, subverted the whole process in favor of ABGA. But if INEC goes ahead to announce the result, we will definitely challenge the election process at the court of law up to Supreme Court. Nobody can intimidate us." Ejidike also addressed a press conference in Oka. He said despite the party's protests, there were no truth in some press statements attributed to the party and being circulated in the media. He said, "There have been too many informations ascribed to us that is not true. Some people wrote whatever they liked and accredited it to the party when it didn't come from the party. One of them was that one said that the APC has denounced the exercise and called for cancellation, and the other was that we said we were heading to court to challenge the election. There is another one that said that I collapsed after hearing the result of my ward, where they claimed I lost. I want to make it clear that they were false information. None of them emanated from us. The picture saying that I collapsed is false. My polling unit 002 Bridgehead Market, Onitsha, was won by APC. I had 95% in the unit, and even in my ward, if you look at the picture they are circulating, you will know that it has no resemblance of my person at all. Please discard that information." But the state government assured the people of security through a public announcement by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Chukwulobelu announced This is to inform the public, particularly residents and voters in Ihiala local government area of Anambra State, that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has fixed Tuesday, 9th November 2021 as the date for the 2021 Anambra gubernatorial supplementary election for Ihiala local government area only. Anambra State government, working with relevant security agencies, hereby assure Indi Ihiala that adequate security arrangements have been made to protect life and property during the election. All are encouraged to come out and vote for the candidate of their choice. As Indi Ihiala may have observed, elections were successfully and peacefully held in other 20 local government areas of Anambra State, and INEC has duly announced the result. No incidents of violence or voter molestation was recorded in Anambra gubernatorial election, which held on Saturday, 6 November 2021. As a reminder, the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB had previously cancelled the sit-at-home order earlier announced and encouraged in the Anambra to come out and vote. Anambra will continue to remain the light of the nation. Meanwhile, Clean Foundation said there was need for INEC to improve logistics and address operational challenges associated with the BVAs. The non-governmental organization noted that the election was visibly marred by logistics and operational challenges with regards to the distribution of election materials and late arrival of INEC officials at many of the polling units. The foundation stated that the challenges led to late opening of the polling in some units, the extension of the polls from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m., and the subsequent disenfranchisement of some eligible voters due to unavailability of election materials and INEC officials. In a statement by Acting Executive Director Clean Foundation Ruth Olofin, the foundation recommended that INEC should conduct more voter awareness on the BVA's machine. Clean said, INEC result portal should be improved for more transparency and accountability through automation of the sum of votes received by political parties at the polling unit. INEC should prosecute electoral offenders to serve as deterrents to others. INEC should provide enough sensitive material such as braille for voters with visual impairment. The Commission should train and retrain electoral officers and ad hoc staff to enable them meet the challenging needs of the electorate in Nigeria. In a related development, this day gathered that prominent indigenes of Ihiala who began mobilization to ensure large turnout of voters on Tuesday included Mr. Ernest Obiajesi, popularly known as Obi Jackson, chairman of Air Peace Airline, Allen Oyema, and chairman of Seplat Oil, Dr. ABC Ojako, among others. Ihiala is reputed as the local government with the highest concentration of billionaires in Anambra State after Inewi, and it also boasts the second largest voting strength in the state after Indemili North local government area. The local government will today decide the fate of the major candidates in the governorship race as 148,000 voters in the area go to the poll. Sources told this day that the major candidates in the Anambra governorship election had shifted their attention to Ihiala, pressing to mobilize voters for themselves. It was gathered that many voters from Ihiala who resided in other towns had been coming home since noon yesterday in preparation for today's poll. Some of our brothers who lived in Lagos and Abuja have already arrived by air on the sponsorship of some of our billionaires, a source said. Obiano too was alleged to be pressing some of the notable figures in the state to work for ABGA and ensure that Soludo won the election. Soludo is currently leading with about 45,000 votes, but with 148,000 votes still up for grabs, if the Ihiala people decide to favor PDP's candidate Mr. Valentine Ozigbo or APC Senator Andy Uba, they could comfortably make any one of them the next governor of the state. But the source said, Oyema was already working hard to ensure Soludo emerged victorious. Not unexpectedly, the governorship candidate of African Democratic Congress ADC, Nze Akachukwu Nwankpo, has withdrawn from the race and thrown his weight behind Soludo Nwankpo after allegedly consulting with his party leadership elected to support Soludo.